What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Today I have for you guys another exciting unboxing to dig into. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you here. And before you head out, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate it, everyone. And feel free to let me know what you are carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. Love hearing from you guys and what you are carrying today. So we have a knife coming in from Sitivien, so huge shout out to them for sending this in for us to take a look at. This will be the first Sitivien that has been sent in by them, and I don't have a ton of experience with Sitivien's knives. So this is really cool for me. They have quite the price range when it comes to their knives. They dabble in $20 to $30 knives all the way up to, I think, getting close to around $200. So they have quite the price range, and they also have quite the variation when it comes to the materials that they use. This is going to be the 133, the ST133, and it's going to be coming in D2. So we have a very tall, fully flat ground D2 drop point style of blade. We have a swedge starting at the belly and going up to the tip, which I really enjoy that aesthetic that gives off, and that is going to give you some added strength on that edge and that tip. Going to be good for certain tasks. The coating looks pretty good. It kind of has a wash effect to it. The blade stock is going to be, well, I guess what you would consider average. I bet that's about 125 to 130. And it feels like it comes down pretty thin. We can check that. We have a little ramp here with a little bit of jimping. Flipper tab for deployment. Yeah, that locks you in pretty good there in that standard grip. We have some nice micarta. These are going to come in right around $30 full retail. And I believe right now on this exact knife, they are having a 20% off on that $30. So that's going to take this knife down to a very affordable range, into what, the low 20s, I want to say. And to get some properly heat treated D2 and some decent micarta, that's a pretty good deal to get yourself in the door to maybe get your first knife, or to get, you know, your next knife, you know, that maybe you're in this price range and that's all the further you dabble in. This could be a good option. This would be a good option for a user and abuser type knife as well. We do have a G10 backspacer and hidden lanyard post. We have a deep carry right hand only pocket clip. It's been recessed. The screws have not, but looks like there's plenty of clearance in there. We'll see what it looks like in the pocket. We have internal circular milling for weight relief. Good access to the liner, chamfer on the show side. That way we have good access, and there is a chamfer on that liner as well. Lockup is very early, 20 to 25%. We'll see if that is any cause for concern. But the action on this, the detent is pretty stout. And then this is basically a controlled dropper. So that is nice. The light switch is good to go on this guy. You have this nice flat peak here, jimping on it. And you can push button it as well. Going to be more for the light switch though. The micarta seems nicely finished as well. And I believe they have a couple other options. I think there's black and green as well in this same model. So let's see what this guy looks like in the pocket. There shouldn't be a whole lot poking out. We have just a very minimal amount poking out, well under that ½ inch mark. And the retention seems pretty good on that pocket clip. I like the pocket clip. It's sleek, it's slim. There's not a whole lot going on. You just have the window to get to the Torx screws. I'd love it if those were flush mounted, especially since this is a non-reversible clip. I would have liked to have seen those recessed, but going in and out of the pocket, I don't think you're going to have a an issue unless you have really thick seams, because there is plenty of clearance in there. So I think this should carry pretty well in the pocket. It does have a little bit of weight to it. This is definitely a full-size knife, guys. Probably 8.5 or so, 8.5. 8.25 overall, and 3.5 inches of cutting edge. So definitely going to be a full-size boy. Let's check this blade stock and see what we are coming in at. And yeah, right in between what I thought. 127. So it's probably 125, or it's probably somewhere in that ballpark. We can do behind the edge too as well. We'll just kind of pick a spot here and see. So about 15 thousandths or so. That's not bad at all. That should have pretty good cutting geometry. Let's go ahead and see what kind of edge they put on this guy. And I believe I read that they do their D2 between 59 and 61, or 60 to 62, somewhere in that ballpark, which should give, pretty good performance when it comes to D2. And mixed with the right geometry, this could be a cutting machine. And where D2 really lacks is its corrosion resistance. And that coating that they put on these now, even these affordable style of knives, the coatings hold up very well, and they do their job at protecting these blades, especially these steels that are prone to corrosion. And, I have a couple of knives with D2 steel that have coatings, and they seem to do just fine. It gets very humid here certain months out of the year, and if something's going to rust, it'll do it eventually here. And some of these coatings on these more affordable knives seem to hold up very, very well. This seems to have a good edge on it. If I would quit screwing up the cut, it feels like it has a pretty good edge on it. Let's check it with some cardboard as well. So we have a single piece of cardboard here, but it does have some tape and whatnot on the back end. Not bad. Let's go against it. Oh yeah. Definitely has a good working edge on it, and like I said, properly heat treated D2 should hold up pretty well. The retention on a good heat treat of D2 is actually pretty good. So the next big question is going to be, how is that lock holding up, especially with very early lockup? And I can say that it didn't feel like there's any movement up or down, and there's no movement side to side either. If I really wrench on it, I can get like the whole thing to kind of move, but there's no play in there, which is good news. So hopefully this holds up pretty well, and that's a good sign. Let's give it one more positive lockout. We'll do one more. And we hit the camera, and it still held up very well. So all good signs coming from these very, very affordable Sitivien models like this guy here. I believe we'll have more Sitiviens to come, and I'm definitely interested in checking out everything that they have to offer, from their very affordable knives like this one on all the way up. I won't mind finding out more about Sitivien and trying out more of their knives, as I don't have much experience with them at all. But based on the couple I've had beforehand, which isn't many, I think I've had maybe 2 other ones, maybe just one or two. So this, makes a very early number of Sitiviens that I've ever checked out. But they were both pretty good that I had. And this one seems to be the exact same way. It's got a nice strong detent on it for that flipper. And then, like I said, you got that nice heavy blade there, and that's going to give you a very nice drop shut type of action, and it's pretty controlled as well. So, you can fidget with this knife, you can beat on this knife, and, you're not going to break the bank getting this. This would be a good way into some micarta if you have not experienced any micarta, but you're in this, lower price tier, in that $30 range. You'll have to let me know what you guys think of the ST133 here. Do you have any experience with any other Sitiviens or this Sitivien here? I love hearing from you guys. So let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate that as well, guys. And if you are new here, well, we release videos every single day, usually twice a day on knives and all kinds of different EDC gear. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and I would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll throw up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day, and I will catch you on the next one.